In the center of New York City lived the Thompson twins, Ethan and Aiden. They were the grandsons of Jonathan Thompson, the wealthiest CEO in the country, whose empire spanned multiple industries from technology to finance. From a young age, Ethan had always been protective of his younger brother Aiden. They shared a bond that seemed unbreakable, spending their days exploring Central Park and their nights dreaming about their future adventures. Their grandfather, Jonathan, doted on both boys equally, showering them with gifts and attention. As the twins grew older, however, subtle changes began to emerge. Jonathan started showing a particular interest in Aiden's keen business acumen and natural leadership skills. He would often take Aiden to important meetings and introduce him to influential people in the industry. Ethan, on the other hand, felt increasingly sidelined and overlooked. Ethan's love for his brother didn't waver, but jealousy crept into his heart. He noticed how Aiden effortlessly charmed their grandfather and how their conversations revolved around Aiden's future role in the family business empire. Although Ethan was very hardworking, perhaps even more so than Aiden, there were significant differences between the twins. Ethan was straightforward, while Aiden was more innocent. Aiden, ever perceptive of his brother's feelings.
"We're in this together, Ethan,"
Aiden would say, but Ethan couldn't shake off the feeling of being left behind. In their freshman year at Hudson University, Aiden met Jake Miller, the grandson of another influential CEO. Jake was charismatic and had a sharp mind for business strategy, much like Aiden. They quickly became inseparable, bonding over late-night study sessions and entrepreneurial dreams. Jake admired Aiden's determination and vision, guiding him through the complexities of corporate strategy and challenging him to think outside the box. Aiden found in Jake not just a friend, but a mentor who understood the pressures of being a successor in a powerful family. Back in the Thompson mansion, Ethan noticed how Aiden changed in the presence of Jake. He seemed more confident, more assured of his own capabilities. But whenever their grandfather was around, Aiden would revert to being the dutiful grandson, eager to please and hesitant to voice his own ideas. Meanwhile, Aiden witnessed a darker side of his elder brother. Behind closed doors, when no one else was watching, Aiden saw Ethan being belittled and criticized for his ambitions. The mask of kindness Ethan wore in public slipped away, revealing him to be driven by jealousy and entitlement. Jake was Aiden's best friend, and he noticed the changes in him and the strained relationship between the twins. He couldn't ignore it and decided to confront Aiden after classes.
"Aiden, I've noticed you've been distant lately. And Ethan, he's not the same either. What's going on?"
Aiden sighed heavily, running a hand through his hair.
"It's complicated, Jake. Grandpa's been grooming me to take over the family business. Ethan doesn't seem to handle it well."
Jake frowned, concern etched on his face.
"But why would that bother Ethan? You've always been there for each other."
Aiden hesitated before explaining.
"I think he feels overshadowed. Grandpa's attention used to be evenly split between us, but now, I'm afraid he sees me as a threat."
Jake nodded thoughtfully, understanding dawning on him.
"You know, Aiden, you don't have to go through this alone. Maybe it's time you talk to Ethan to clear the air."
Aiden nodded, grateful for Jake's support.
"You're right, Jake. I'll try to talk to him."
But deep down, Aiden feared what his conversation with Ethan might unearth. He wasn't sure if their bond could withstand the weight of jealousy and ambition that threatened to tear them apart. That evening, Aiden decided to confront Ethan. He found his brother in the library, poring over a famous novel.
"Ethan,"
Aiden began tentatively.
"we need to talk."
Ethan glanced up, his expression guarded.
"About what, Aiden?"
Aiden took a deep breath, choosing his words carefully.
"I've noticed that things have been tense between us lately. I want us to be honest with each other."
Ethan scoffed, setting aside the papers.
"Honesty? What's there to be honest about, Aiden? Grandpa has picked you as his favorite. You're the chosen one now."
Aiden shook his head, frustration and sadness mingling in his voice.
"It's not about being the favorite, Ethan. This is about us and our family. Can't you see that?"
Ethan's eyes flashed with resentment.
"All I see is you getting everything on a silver platter while I'm left in the shadows."
The brothers argued till late at night, their voices echoing through the empty halls of the mansion. Years of unspoken insecurities surfaced, fueling their heated exchange. Aiden tried to reason with Ethan, to make him understand that they were stronger together, but Ethan's bitterness was deep-rooted. During their fight, Aiden yelled at Ethan.
"I know you're nothing but a total jerk."
Ethan was shocked and silent to hear his brother say this to him. When Aiden realized it was too late, he was about to say sorry, but Ethan had left with eyes filled with tears. Unable to sleep after the confrontation, Aiden sought solace in a late-night walk through Central Park. Jake's words echoed in his mind, urging him not to give up on his brother. Meanwhile, Jake himself couldn't shake off the worry for his friends. He knew Aiden and Ethan's bond was special, but it was crumbling under jealousy and misunderstanding. Determined to help them reconcile, Jake reached out to Ethan the next day.
"Ethan, we need to talk."
Jake said firmly, catching him outside the university campus.
"I don't think there's anything left to talk about, Jake. Ethan, I understand you're hurt, but pushing Aiden away won't make things better. He needs you more than ever.
Ethan's anger broke for a moment, revealing pain all over his face.
I don't know how to fix this, Jake. I don't know if I can. You can, Ethan. You and Aiden have been through so much together. Don't let this come between you.
Jake insisted gently. As days turned into weeks, Ethan wrestled with his emotions. He couldn't bear the thought of losing his twin brother, his closest confidant since childhood. Gradually, Ethan began to see things from Aiden's perspective. While Aiden was at a business seminar with Jake one evening, Ethan visited their favorite spot in Central Park. He remembered the countless hours they had spent there, dreaming about their future and sharing their hopes and fears. Aiden found Ethan sitting on the same bench they had claimed as their own, staring out at the city skyline. Without a word, Aiden sat down beside him, their shoulders brushing against each other.
I'm sorry, Aiden.
Ethan finally spoke, his voice tinged with regret.
I've been so caught up in my own feelings that I forgot what really matters.
Aiden smiled softly, relief flooding through him.
It's okay, Ethan. We both made mistakes. What matters now is that we find a way to move forward, together.
Meanwhile, Jonathan Thompson observed his grandson's journey with a mixture of concern and hope. During a pivotal board meeting, Jonathan made a decisive announcement. He declared, his voice firm and unwavering. The news was a shock to the family and the company executives. Ethan felt a sense of acceptance this time. He knew deep down that Aiden was the right choice because Aiden had the right vision and determination to lead. When Jonathan's decision was made public, Aiden and Ethan began to rebuild their fractured relationship. This is where the story of the twin brothers ends, leading a happy life with their family and enjoying their lives together as there was no one special to the other. They spent their countless hours in the Central Park laughing and talking.